in the time of coronavirus? How do you keep romance alive in a pandemic? Sometimes loved ones find themselves stuck away from one another, and many don't know when this painful forced separation will end. Many others have taken the crisis as a catalyst for commitment, seizing the moment to say yes. Enter mass weddings like in the Philippines, with masks and social distancing. Some happy couples live stream their big day for family and friends. No mask needed there. The coronavirus is redefining our relationships. What does it mean to love in the middle of a pandemic? Welcome to DW's COVID-19 special. I'm Janelle Dumalaon. Thank you for joining us. If love makes the world go round, a pandemic can bring it to a standstill. Many couples caught in different places as travel restrictions hit found that out the hard way. Now, DW talked to a few lovers struggling to be reunited. Their message, that love is not tourism.
How was your 6:45 wake up?
Very early. It's probably the earliest I've gotten up. I feel like this is the earliest I've gotten up and put makeup on and
Hannah and Ryan have not seen each other in person since January because of the COVID-19 travel ban. They say talking to each other, even several times a day, doesn't make up for it.
I just miss her so much every morning, and by virtue of the time difference, I don't get to wake up with her every morning. I don't get to go to bed with her every night. And I just want to be able to live a full day with her.
This is Hannah and Ryan in London, where they met in 2017 during a university exchange. They'd been visiting each other every 2 months since then, but the pandemic changed everything.
It's been very frustrating and very hard for us to see all these people go on vacation or just, hang out at these bars with all of their friends, and we would also like to do these things, but most of all we just want to see each other.
Hannah is not the only partner forced to make dinner for one. COVID-19 travel bans often only allow married couples to reunite across borders. Many international couples are now pressuring governments to change this. They argue that love is not tourism.
Basically, a marriage is a piece of paper that proves, hey, yes, these two people love each other. And only because we don't have that, we are basically treated less.
As an American who loves her country and everything, because I do feel betrayed by my government, sadly. So, sorry, I'm getting emotional.
I must say that it's really like a survival game here.
I'm scared that I will never be seen, we'll never be seen formally as a couple. Not even a marriage, but as a couple at all. So that is very scary.
Hannah and Ryan don't want to get married yet. For now, Hannah has to make do with texting Ryan, sitting in their favorite cafe in Brussels.
A little hopeless and a little powerless. I feel like there's at this point, we've done everything we can do to try and reunite. And it's difficult. It's difficult not to know when we're going to be able to see each other again.
Hannah wants to move to the US once the crisis is over, so both can move beyond a digital relationship.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, yeah, just text me when you're done.
I will. Bye. I love you. Bye.
I'm joined now by Dr. Barbara Muller. She's a sociologist and sex educator at the Sigmund Freud University in Vienna. She's also the author of a recent study called Intimacy and Social Connection in the Time of Physical Distancing. Welcome to our program. Now, based on your expertise, what would you say is a bigger challenge for couples? Too much distance at a time of social distancing, or too little space at this time of lockdowns and stay-at-home orders?
Well, obviously, both can be a problem. People in long-distance relationships are often in a very desperate state. Even though they are quite experienced in maintaining intimacy in a distant relationship, still the inability to meet their partners caused feelings of helplessness and isolation. And we really have to take that seriously. On the other hand, as you mentioned, too little space can also be a problem, particularly if people don't have a room or a space on their own, to their own, in their household. That is increasing very often conflicts, also sometimes domestic violence.
Now, since you've been taking a closer look at intimacy at this very special time of social distancing, has anything surprised you so far in what you've found?
Yeah, what I found particularly interesting were kind of some positive unintended consequences of the lockdown, because even though, as I just mentioned, conflicts increased in many cases, there were also a significant number of couples that actually experienced a decrease of their partnership conflicts. They were often reporting that they are having a good time, that they are actually kind of enjoying the lockdown, that they are intensifying their relationship. They said they are really enjoying having deep conversations, for example, with their partners. And there were also maybe not a large number, but still people who reported that they are kind of relieved, that they are not expected to have an active dating life or social life, so they were kind of enjoying their time.
Well, it's certainly nice to know that this time is working for some people. But what about those who are interested in finding a partner? These might be tricky times for them.
Oh, yes, it was indeed. Many people actually stopped dating. I had a significant number of people who, I think every third of my participants reported that they were actually turning down an invitation to have sex during the lockdown. People who were single during the lockdown were very often then also very lonely and kind of desperately longing for touch, for physical intimacy. That was obviously not really possible for many of them. And I think in that respect, we also have to pay attention or more attention to mental health issues because loneliness is known to be a chronic stressor, so it causes stress. And that might be a problem in the long run.
I suppose it might be more manageable if you knew that the situation was temporary, but until a vaccine is found, the pandemic is at least for now an open-ended situation. Do you think there will be a long-term shift in romantic relationships and how they look like?
Commitment and trust will be more important. Many people developed a strong feeling that closeness is dangerous, so they try to, find a way to live their intimate life in a more committed, trusting and safe way. Some people might develop new practices of intimacy, such as using digital technology for sexuality. I think we will see maybe new developments in that respect.
Thank you very much, Dr. Barbara Muller of the Sigmund Freud University in Vienna. Thanks for your insights.
Thanks for having me.
Time for more of your questions now. Over to our science correspondent, Derek Williams.
Can COVID-19 cause bad breath?
Halitosis can be caused by a wide range of different factors, from inadequate dental hygiene to a more serious underlying condition. But the WHO doesn't list it as a symptom for COVID-19. However, there is an interesting connection between bad breath and the virus. Mouthwash sales have spiked during the pandemic, which I guess was to be expected. I mean, plenty of people probably hope that using mouthwashes regularly will have a preventative effect, even though there's currently no evidence that gargling with them protects you. Either that or breathing into a mask all the time has made people hyper aware of how their own breath smells.
Can you catch COVID-19 from drinking unfiltered tap water?
There's no evidence you can get COVID-19 from drinking treated water, and the risk of transmission through water in general, even untreated wastewater, appears to be very low, even when the virus's genetic material can be detected in untreated water. In most cases, it's probably not viable. That's because SARS-CoV-2 is what's called an enveloped virus, which means it has a pretty fragile membrane that doesn't really protect it for very long outside the body. So standard treatment methods used in most municipal drinking water systems, like filtration and disinfection, should inactivate it, just like they do other pathogens. If you don't have access to safe treated water, then the standard precautions that you take, like boiling your drinking water, should also kill any SARS-CoV-2.